The new wrap is on. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. Kind of looks British. So, and then it's ready for a new home. So make me an offer and take this beautiful machine off my hands so I can get another bike and do another project. Freaking bad. I mean, you'll look pretty cool going down the road in this thing. You look darn cool. You would look damn cool going down the road in this thing. It's just a gorgeous machine. Yeah, that wrap, I kind of like it. It's similar to what I had before, but I always wanted to try the 1-inch overlap. So I got, you could say I have 2.5 layers. I got one layer on the bottom, and then I got the white layer. I got a black, or painted black anyway, which originally it was white. That's the titanium layer. Then I got the white layer, and then I have the 1-inch strip kind of going back and forth on the top of that. And yeah, it's insulated now. Yeah, it's well insulated now. Let's see, how many miles? 10,121 miles. And RPMs hovers around 950 to 1050. Good horn. Where's the emergency flashers on this thing? Oh, right here? I guess right there. Beautiful lights. They're LEDs. They're bright LEDs. I really had to hunt around for those. I had to order a bunch of different pair until I finally got the ones that had the proper resistance. The first bulb that I put in there was no resistance in the bulb itself. It wasn't high enough. They blinked really fast. And there is a setting you can adjust in here, but even with that, it still didn't work very well. But now with these bulbs, I still got to use that setting. I think it's under information. You got to press and hold the button, or I forget exactly how you do it now. Okay, let's see. It should be. I feel the heat coming off the motor. Yeah, it's getting warm now. But I mean, imagine if that was just chrome header. Oh yeah. Down here it's a lot cooler. Up here, there's some heat. But I can still touch it. Down here I can hold it. Even here. Right here though. I gotta get some more muck off and clean this thing up a little bit. Stuff to do. Make me an offer and you could be riding this home tonight. Alright guys, I'll see you later. It's already getting hot, the exhaust, I'm sure. Okay, so let's test it. So I can touch this, no problem. Because that's 3 layers now, right? Now here's 1 layer. Let's see. That is too hot to touch. Okay, I'll burn my hand if I leave it on there. That's but this side, yeah. It makes a big difference. It makes a huge difference. So now it's got some thermal properties to it, like it advertises thermal properties, but you got to really layer it. Well, I mean, I guess you don't. You get some thermal properties with one coating. Protects against heat up to 1500 degrees. Don't forget high HT silicone coating, but I gotta find it in see that I got their brand, I guess you can see it there. Locking ties, silicone coating. Here you see the back of it. I think that's awesome. I think the thing I like about it is, you know, it's different. You don't see it every day. You got that versus that. I mean, that's not bad. But you know, that kind of looks, you know, cool, like a racing bike, you know. But I mean, but it lacks any, like, you know, people would notice it and, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. But then you see something like this and you're like, wow, look at that. That is cool looking. I don't know. Some people probably hate it. But then again, it's my bike. You could take that 1-inch black off and rewrap it in more of an even pattern without the crisscrossing. Or you could just eliminate it and just have white. And then you could spray the white flat silicone over it, or ceramic coating, and you know, let it lay down. It would turn it a little bit of it would turn it into a flat white. But I kind of like the look of that it looks like a cloth. So yeah, so anyway, I got to get the bike listed. I don't know how much I could get for this thing. $9 grand maybe. I mean, the exhaust alone was $2,800. And what are these things new? 13, 14,000. It's got 10,000 miles on it. And it's just, you know, it's got 15, 20 more horse than stock. It's geared up, heavy duty chain. The list just goes on all the things on it. All the stock parts. Beautiful setup on the front end with the handlebars there and the mid pegs. I mean, if you're, you know, if you look, you could put it back to cruiser style if you wanted to. But if you rode the cruiser and you rode this, I honestly believe that, you know, 7, 8 out of 10 people would prefer this, unless you're really tall, because the mid pegs, you know, will make it more scrunchy versus if your legs are more forward. But, you know, people mistake this for a large motorcycle. It's really not that large of a motorcycle. I mean, they shoehorned a 1200cc engine into a relatively small frame. And I mean, the bike, you know, the bike is like 75% motor and tranny. Honestly, I mean, it's just got a minimal frame, handlebars, and wheels strapped on it for the engine to go down the road. I mean, it's just basically that's one of the thrills of this motorcycle. You're driving an oversized engine on a small bike, a relatively small bike. And I shaved about 50 or 60 pounds off this bike, so it's got to be sitting at the 490 mark, 500 pound mark. It is just light. I mean, you roll it around. First of all, the weight's low anyway. A lot of it, you know, it's got a low center of gravity, but you wheel this bike around, it's easy. I mean, it's not that heavy. I think it's 560 stock. But the catalytic converter was like 25 pounds. I mean, or more. And then the framework for the forward pegs, that had to be another 20 or 30 pounds. Oh, maybe more than that. Maybe 35 pounds. That big chunk of steel up front that they used to mount it, I was surprised at how heavy that thing was and how bulky. So those two items alone had to knock off 50 or 60 pounds minimum. I haven't weighed the bike, but... And then a few pounds here, a couple pounds there, a couple pounds there I took off, you know. I'd say I took off at least... there's a good 60 pounds off this bike from stock. There's not much more you can take off on it. You know, you could add stuff to it. I got a big fairing. I think it's an 18-inch fairing that you can. It's an aftermarket, but it worked with it. But I mean, it's just this. I can't put a fairing on it now. It was okay for a while because when I first got the bike, I'd go on the highway and yeah, you got 75, 80 miles an hour, and the wind is just beating the crap out of you. And they had one of those fly fairings on it that the guy had put on, the guy I bought it from. And that basically takes this a little bit of air and scoops it right into your chest and face. So I got the 18-incher, and that really made a pretty good difference. But your legs still get your lower body gets nailed. That's the one thing without a fairing. When that radiator comes on, the fan for the radiator comes on in summertime, it's blowing the hot air off the engine right there back at your legs. So when you're sitting at a stoplight, you feel it. Especially if you don't have like wearing good insulated pants or anything. You know, I've rode this with shorts on, and I mean it gets pretty hot like when you're just sitting idle. But fortunately in California you can split through the lanes. It's legal. Even though drivers think it's, a lot of drivers get upset when you do it, or some drivers do. They think it's not legal, or they're just frustrated that they're in a car and you're moving. So anyway, there's my latest iteration. I think it looks somewhat British. You know, if they had a green one, a green colored, like a kind of a dullish green color, I might have put the black in black. I probably would. I think I would have put that on. I don't know, because you know the British racing green, but it still would have clashed, I think. I'm gonna leave that. It'll grow on me. I think it's better than the other side. I think it's kind of cool looking. I'm gonna finish it up on this side and call it macaroni. Okay, I will talk to you later. Bye.